Conjoined twins. What's the worst thing anyone's ever said to you? What's the worst thing anyone's ever said to you? My sister Valerie and I were conjoined twins connected at the torso. The absolute worst part of being conjoined wasn't the physical stuff. It was dating. When I was 22, I went on a date with a guy I'd met at a bookstore. We showed up to the restaurant, and halfway through dinner, he leaned in and whispered, "So, is this a threesome situation?" Because I'm into it. Valerie heard him and her face went bright red. I got up to leave and he grabbed my arm. "Come on, don't be sensitive. You had to know I was thinking it." Another time I matched with a guy on a dating app and we talked for 3 weeks before meeting up. I told him about being conjoined and sent pictures and he said it was totally fine. We met at a bar and the first thing he said was, "Okay, but which one of you am I actually dating?" Then he laughed like it was a joke. The worst was a guy who made it through 4 dates before he pulled out his phone and asked if he could film us kissing because his friends would never believe this. When I said absolutely not, he got mad and said I was being unfair because he'd put in all this effort. Valerie started crying and he called us dramatic. After that, we pretty much gave up on dating entirely. Then I met Carlos at a coffee shop when he asked if the seat next to us was taken. Valerie had her headphones in reading a book. He started talking to me about what I was reading and we ended up chatting for an hour. When he asked for my number, I took a deep breath and explained that I was a conjoined twin. He looked at Valerie and then back at me. "I'm not blind. I can see that. So when can I take you out?" Our first date was at an Italian restaurant. Valerie brought a book and headphones and angled herself away as much as she could. Carlos kept his entire focus on me. He asked about my job and my hobbies and what kind of movies I liked. When the waiter brought the check, Carlos didn't make any weird comments about paying for 2 people. He just paid and said he'd love to see me again. On our third date, we were walking through a park and he reached for my hand. He'd figured out which hand to hold so it felt natural. When he kissed me goodnight, he put his hand on my cheek and looked only at me. It was the first time I'd ever felt like someone saw me as just me. A few months in, we were watching a movie at my apartment when Carlos paused it. "I need to ask you something and I don't want it to be weird." My stomach dropped. "Here it comes," I thought. "I really care about you," he said. "And I want to make sure I'm being respectful to both of you. Is there anything I should be doing differently?" Valerie pulled out her headphones. "You're doing great, Carlos. Honestly." He smiled at her. "I just want to make sure everyone's comfortable." That was the moment I knew I loved him. 6 months in, Carlos and I were cooking dinner together when he turned to me. "I love you. I've loved you for a while now, and I needed to tell you." I started crying and said it back. Valerie turned her headphones up louder and focused hard on her book to give us as much mental privacy as possible. A year later, Carlos took me back to the coffee shop where we met. He got down on one knee right there in front of everyone. "You're the most incredible person I've ever met. Will you marry me?" Valerie was crying as hard as I was. Planning the wedding was magical. Carlos came to every dress fitting and helped us find a seamstress who could create something beautiful that worked for both our bodies. Valerie kept insisting on styles she knew I'd love even when they weren't her preference. Carlos's family welcomed us completely. His mom hugged both of us and said she was so happy to have us joining the family. The day of the wedding arrived.